All right. Welcome to Jank Media, where tonight we're gonna discuss skating, and this is my buddy Alex. Alex, if you want to say a few words before we start talking about stuff.
I'm Alex. I'm Jared's friend. I skateboard. We met a couple years ago at the skate park, and pretty good buds.
All right, so I wanted to just kind of get right into it, just to get some ideas out about the skateboarding rollerblading rivalry back in the day, and it still is ongoing a little bit, but I mean, no one pays attention to it. It's just kind of like floats around there. Like it was a few months ago. It was Spitfire wheels and some other company, and they put out like a wheel design, and it was like a rollerblader like being like shredded apart,
Yeah.
and I don't care about that stuff. That stuff doesn't bother me. But it was kind of funny on Instagram seeing like people's backlash to it. It's like whatever, you know. But when I started rollerblading, when I started aggressive skating, I was in seventh grade. It would have been like 1997, and of course I knew about I knew about skateboarding, BMXing. I had seen all that stuff, and the only reason I started rollerblading instead of skateboarding was because all my friends started doing it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I have rollerblades at home, and my first like skates that I was doing tricks in they're called rollerblade lightning, and they're not for like skating, and I wish I had footage of it because it'd be hilarious. But big wheels. Here's my current skates, but there was like a gap in the frame, and you just had four bigger wheels. There was no like sole plate or anything like that, but somehow I made it work, and I would just jump stair sets. I would do like really rough front sides and sole grinds.
Were they an all plastic boot?
Yeah,
Because I think I had a pair of
Yeah.
roller like inlines when I was a kid too. But they were like a plastic boot, and it was like a purple lining with purple wheels.
Yeah.
And I want to say they were like skate lightning or some kind of weird like
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
But they're just an all plastic cowling, all plastic boot, and I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like every time I go into Goodwill, I see that type of rollerblade you're describing.
But I played inline like hockey too, so
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
always had blades too growing up, but not obviously not those kind. But
And yeah, so like I would skate at the loading bay of the middle school I went to. Me and my buddies would, and there were a couple BMXers at the school. There were a handful of skateboarders, and holy shit, like they just hated on us and terrorized us. It was like Kiefer Sutherland out of Stand By Me. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Okay, so like Kiefer Sutherland in it is like a bully from hell, like playing like chicken with cars on the road, just like someone you didn't want to run into. And these local skateboarders were like that. And honestly, anytime they came to like the spot that we were doing a session on, we'd have to like get the fuck out of there. I don't think they ever would have like hit us, but when you're 12 years old, someone who's 13 or 14 seems like an adult, and but it was funny because I later had a math class with one of those skateboarders when we were in high school, and he was still giving me shit, and he was like how come you just don't skateboard? Like how come you like picked rollerblading? And I was like, I didn't know anyone that skateboarded, and I told him point blank, I was like, I think skateboarding is cool as hell, and I think I had like Destroying America on DVD.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
So I think it was called that. It was like an old Tony Hawk movie type thing.
Okay.
And as soon as I told him, I was like, I think skateboarding is cool as hell. He was like, oh. It was like he had it in his head the whole time that like if you rollerbladed, you hated skateboarding.
Right.
It was just like, come on, dude. Like
I think that's like for me the rivalry side that we're kind of talking about.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember ever myself really caring a whole lot,
Yeah.
but I remember, like people, older guys at the park, being a kid growing up
Yeah.
skating and, you know, making it, I don't, just instilling it in me that I shouldn't like them.
Right.
Like, I think that's where the rivalry comes in for me, but, uh, also I'd have to say, like, remembering being at the skate park, like the bikes were always, like yelling at us for getting in their way, and they're hauling, you don't
Yeah,
want to get in their
right.
way. And so the bike guys were kind of dicks to skaters. And then you have the skaters, I don't know if it was just scapegoatism with rollerbladers here, but we didn't really have too many rollerbladers here.
Yeah.
So there wasn't,
It wasn't like
yeah,
an issue or anything.
right. I mean, I guess like they got teased sometimes,
Yeah.
like skateboarders would tease them and, vice versa. Then you get smack talk coming back and forth. But, I don't know. I was always excited to see rollerbladers there because usually if someone was rollerblading here, they're,
Oh yeah.
they're they were getting aggressive.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. And like I don't, I don't mean to bring up like the rivalry because it's like a deep-seated thing that has
I think it just
haunted me
comes
all
with
this
like
year.
people like us in general are just territorial. It goes
Yeah.
back to like surfing, where
yeah.
it's like get off my wave, man. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I think that's mainly it.
And another thing too was, skateboarding had done their thing for probably, I would think by the 90s skateboarding had been slowly evolving for like at least 3 decades.
Yeah, I would say like 70s big time, 80s big time. I mean, they all
yeah.
had lulls too.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
the 90s there was another resurgence.
Mhm.
Then it kind of like tapered again, and then in the 2000s it spiked
Dude,
again. It was just
friggin' blew
constantly
blew
up and down.
Man. It's like it's everywhere, which is cool. I mean,
And right now, I don't know whether it's in a lull or if it's at an all-time high. Because, like, I mean, right now it's the most insane skateboarding ever, but you don't really see kids skateboarding anymore.
yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things is well, like I feel like kids will always like teenagers who like feel like they don't fit in will always like find that like niche with whether it's like skating or like obscure music or like movies, but yeah, rollerblading it's hard to reach that kid demographic because most stores don't carry skates.
Yeah. Well, that's how you got it. You got to get started, early on. If I didn't get started early on, I'd be absolutely useless on a skateboard.
Right. Yeah, and that is one of the things that and we can maybe go into this later, but like one of the benefits of rollerblading is that it like at the pro level, I'm not going to say it's easy to get into because clearly what they're doing is just absolutely insane in terms of like the stunts, the tricks they're doing. But like for someone like me, I was away from skating for almost 20 years, and I did it like here and there, like every 5 to 7 years.
Right.
But when I got started when I got back into it 2 summers ago, it was like it took like 3 months for my body to get adjusted and
For sure.
and get all the aches out. But I was doing all the tricks I did back then.
Yeah.
So, but
We started back up at the same time, actually.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That summer
sick.
that I met you,
Yeah.
I was just getting back. I took like,
Oh,
I
man.
probably hadn't skated in 5 years.
Oh shit.
So
yeah.
it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
because
you got back into it fast, I feel like I've never seen you go at your like I guess like what you can do with the injuries you have and like the age you're at now, like cuz I've seen you rip, but your ankle is always destroyed,
yeah, it's been a hassle. Middle school, and that's why I like started skating rails actually, because in middle school I was probably like 12, 13. I like learning flip tricks and like skating like little things like curbs and stuff. I constantly was rolling my flicking foot, so
Oh yeah.
it got to the point where like I could ollie, I could like get my foot to ollie, but like to try to tray flip, like that extra pressure on my heel or my ankle
Yeah.
would just kill my foot. So I ended up skating a lot of rails
Nice.
and learning rail tricks and not really focusing too much on the flip tricks. And
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm
like
at a loss there.
Yeah.
That's
That's
lost my
why.
train of thought.
Well, that's why like Tony Hawk, like he said it and stuff because like when skating went into or when skateboarding went into one of its lulls, he kind of dabbled in street skating a bit, but
Yeah.
he like realized that like if he wants to skate like well into his age and avoid injuries, like
Yeah.
street skating is
Totally.
isn't
And
the
if you've
route to
ever
go.
seen Tony Hawk skate street,
Yeah, his son.
and he'll be the first to admit it.
Oh yeah, his son rips though. The Riley Hawk, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
He's nuts.
much better.
So is Tony.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tony rips. Like I'd rather
He's
talk about
out of
other
his mind.
skaters than Tony Hawk, but I mean, it's just an easy example. If you
Yeah.
know. But let's watch one of our skate edits. So we each picked out some skate edits that we really enjoy or like grew up watching that really inspired us. Yeah, which one do you want to watch?
Well, I'm gonna go with probably one of the first videos I've ever seen would be Blind Video Days. My favorite part from it would be Jason Lee's. Also, probably one of my favorite actors.
Right.
But growing up as a kid, I had a skateboard in '94, and didn't really get into it like so much, like learn how to ollie and kickflip till like '99. But definitely the people that influenced me skating would be Jason Lee and you know.
Oh yeah, no, this is a sick edit. So let's get into it. Back.
Dude, I'll give you $100 and I'll take out the Benny Hondas if you slide that 75-foot handrail.
Dude, one thing. So the band.
I'll give you 600
like
tries.
the song
I'll be
that
back
plays in
next
it.
This song's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Lit.
So one of the members is Jeff Tremaine.
No shit. I did not know
The
that.
guy that because
Yeah.
he did he do
Tremaine's in this band?
Yeah, I'm not sure which instrument he plays. But yeah, he was definitely in the band. And didn't Jeff Tremaine do Big Brother? Was that his magazine?
Big Brother and Jackass stuff. didn't he?
Oh yeah, Jackass stuff for sure.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was a big part in Big Brother, I think.
So
I know.
right. One of the things I noticed like while watching this the other day is like how friggin' grimy like Jason Lee is. Just like he looks like so many people I was friends with back then, and people my brother was friends with, and it's so funny just seeing that 90s style like right there.
Yeah, he looks like he smells.
Dude, towards the end of the edit, it gets close to his ankles. He's got like a big ass like red striped white like tube sock on, and the other sock is like completely different.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just like the icing on the cake,
And those chops, man.
right? Oh god, dude.
He's still got them too.
Yeah, Jason Lee's great. He's in Skate 3. That video
is?
game. Yeah, he's like I think his name is Coach Frank in it. He's like some skateboarding coach that every now and then pops up.
Was he in any of the Tony Hawks as like a
I don't-
character?
I don't know. If he isn't, they should have had him.
There's a couple of those I haven't played even.
My
But
brother.
at this time, like, it doesn't look like much if you're up on skating. But this is nuts. Like,
Dude.
people were not doing this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that I didn't realize that people weren't at this level back then. But I mean, the stuff he's doing, I would consider technical, like super technical for the time. And I realized,
Well, like, this whole, like, style and everything, like, it was, like, paving the way for everybody.
Oh,
This,
yeah.
like,
well, like,
This is
like
big.
right there. It looks like he's riding like a cruiser deck. Is that what people call it?
Yeah, in the early 90s,
It's
like,
fatter, you know?
they started shaping the boards a little bit more like popsicles,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until like the early mid 90s where it started to be like the standard thing. Boards still had kind of a pool shaped deck to it, where you had more of a shovel nose and a boxy tail, or a round nose that's in a boxy tail, but they still had kind of that, you know, old vert pool deck shape to them.
Yeah.
And they're still that size. I mean, that looks to me like he's skating like an 8.75 or a 9 right there. Like, they're big. That's a pretty big board.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was gonna say is, clearly board technology was not the same then as it is now. So I can only imagine how heavy that thing
Look at
is.
that.
You know?
That thing is huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you see him. He's skating vert too, and just a couple
Dude,
times where
right?
it's like,
and yeah, he's killing it in the beginning. That's nuts.
yeah.
Dude, I just picture him wearing like a Stussy t-shirt and just playing NHL '94 like in Mallrats.
There's a war
This song.
outside of your window. It's destroying
This is
our
probably one of my favorite
world.
quotes here coming up.
So take the hand of a boy and a girl and walk down the street and sing a happy song to make the world better. Peace on earth, environments, religion, and pray to
You'd never believe you got into acting,
right?
Yeah, brother.
All right. Nice. Well, I guess we should probably just go into the one that I picked, which is
I'm down because I've never seen any parts.
you've never seen any parts?
I've never
Oh,
seen
dude,
any
dude.
parts.
I picked a good variety too, and I'll you know like you just did with the Jason Lee one. I'll go into like I guess my personal significance of the video, but this next one coming up is it's from Kevin Gillen, and this is from the Senate Kill Team video called Stand Fast, and like. I don't want to take anything away from the skater because he's one of the all-time greatest. But like you're not gonna see like huge hammers. Like he stuck with probably like 5 or 6 grinds, but he was just like so smooth, and he just made rollerblading look just really good and clean back then. When a lot of skaters during this time period were like pretty squirrely, you know, because. I mean, gosh, skating had been around for like 5 years, so everyone was still learning. But
Right.
this had some decent production quality. And this is, you can follow Kevin Gillen on Instagram, and he is like one of the nicest people ever. Like if he posts like a old magazine photo of him, and if you just give him a compliment, he always responds. Just a super nice guy.
Dang. What year is this?
This-
Or around?
This is probably
It looks 2000s. Like
it's
01?
It's probably, I would say 99 or,
Okay.
or 2000. Probably 99.
I was just going off
Yeah.
of the camera.
Yeah, right.
like
It's not
like-
as old as Jason Lee's part, dude. If I showed you some rollerblading clips from like 1990, it's fascinating, but dude, it is like sloppy as hell. But it's cool. Like I'm not trying to take away from anyone's talent,
Yeah.
but it's so funny.
well, I mean, Video Days was pretty sloppy. And it was the same thing. It was still in the learning phase.
Mhm.
No one's filmed skateboarding yet.
One of the things that I love about like having watched tons of skateboarding videos and tons of rollerblading videos is that you see so many of the same spots and how like
Right, and
how each person
And the filming
you know-
style is almost identical.
Oh, totally.
And stuff like this is difficult to film.
Oh, for sure, dude. And I mean, God, I would be pissed if I was like this good and like and I had someone crappy filming me, you know,
Yeah.
that's a big responsibility. Dude, so that's a backside royale. He had like just the cleanest backside royales like in the game.
He's pretty buttery.
Right? Yeah, he just like he just made it look.
Is
so
it still called the
clean.
fakie?
Ah, God.
What is it called?
Well, backside. So is fakie when like your back is going into it or something? So
Fakie would be your regular stance going backwards.
so yeah.
Yeah,
So
riding backwards.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it would be a fakie royale. Rollerbladers
Or
call
Royale
it
2
backside.
fake. Because he ended on fakie there.
Fakie royale to fakie.
Did he go in fakie too?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's the whole thing with backside is that. So like, if I was, I don't know if this is gonna capture me. Let's go back to this. So like, if there was a rail right here, and I just jumped on it like this,
Yeah.
that would be front side, because like my front is going towards it. But if I jumped into it like this, like that's what we call backside.
Oh, okay.
And like, dude, I've never done anything backside because it's that mental thing of like going into it and like it just feels so different.
See,
and,
for
like,
us, that'd be
so
like a lip
unsafe.
slide, like where we'd like turn over. It
Oh,
would be
yeah.
like going to it would be like a backside trick, but
And that's, dude, when
it's hard to getting into all
yeah.
that's
Oh yeah.
a mind game.
So in middle school, like speaking of lip slides, in middle school I got Thrasher Skate Destroy, and I think we've mentioned that before. And I thought a lip slide.
Can I use this fancy class?
Oh yeah, that's why I brought it. Yeah. I thought a lip slide was if you were doing a board slide, but like the board was like closer to the left or closer to the right. I didn't realize that, you like swing it around,
up and over.
and then once I realized that, and it was just the way like the character looked in Thrasher, it looked like it was off center.
Yeah.
But once I realized like what a lip slide was, I was like, oh, like that's awesome.
It's like a vert term kind of because you're going up and
right, yeah,
that's where it comes. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You like ride up and then you.
No, that makes that totally makes sense. So, what's like the biggest thing you've ever done or like ever attempted to do?
Ever attempted to do?
Yeah, just something either maybe you landed but like fell off the board, so like it doesn't count. But like
The biggest thing I ever attempted to do was a double kink rail.
Oh shit!
And it was it's like a 6 or 7 flat 4. And I locked into it pretty solid. It was just a frontside 50-50. I'm regular, so it was on my front side.
Mm-hmm.
And I locked into it, warming up. I ollied over it a few times. There's grass and dirt on the other side.
Yeah.
And so I ollied over it. I was confident I could lock in. I ollied up. I locked in, grinded down, got in the flat, and kind of rolled off, and I ran down the grass hill. So I was like, all right, I got this. Let's set the cameras up. Got the camera set up. I lock in again, but I don't do it as well. Like, I get in the down and the flat, but it's really quick, and I roll off and run down the hill.
Yeah.
The second time I go to get in, I locked into a front Smith instead of a 50-50.
Oh.
And it dipped down.
Yeah.
I caught the kink on my inner thigh, and I landed on my head in the grass hill, rolled down the hill, and there is video of that, actually.
Oh shit! What was it? Was it pretty brutal that fall, or did you
I couldn't
to...
walk.
Oh, shit.
I hit so hard on my thigh, like
oh shit!
I was like dragging my leg around, and I rolled up to it like 2-3 more times because I was like, I got it. I was in the mindset that I was doing it that day, and I I rolled up to it a couple more times, and it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't even walk, let alone like try to do this right now.
Right.
Like,
Dude,
it was pretty upsetting, and I never went back, and I never got it.
that stuff, dude, that stuff's scary, man. It's crazy. Like the stuff that I do, it's like maybe to someone who's never like seen like skating at all, they'd be like, oh wow, like that's nuts. But it really is like simple basic stuff, and just like working up the stones, like the mental game that's with skating to attempt a handrail, or like I'm gonna jump this gap. It's nuts. And
For sure, you need to be, there are all sorts. You got to be mentally ready. You got to be physically ready.
Oh yeah,
physically capable.
right.
You can't just do it.
Yeah, you gotta, and it's, I mean, it just comes with the territory, but it's like you'll only learn how to like bail correctly from falling. It's just like,
Right.
and it sucks those times where like the shit just shoots out from under you and you just have no time whatsoever to catch yourself. Those are the fucking worst. Like that, those are always when like injuries happen.
Right. But I think like the biggest thing I ever actually landed was like biggest gap would have been a gap down at the Commons.
Okay.
And it goes from our Commons area down to the bike path, and it's
Yeah.
about a 15 foot gap.
Like that grass gap that we were just rolling down in
Yeah.
the summer. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you try to ollie that?
I did ollie it.
Dude, fuck yeah. Dude,
The smaller part,
Yeah.
not from the sidewalk,
Okay.
but
yeah.
like from the actual Commons down to the bike path.
Oh, yeah.
It's still huge.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
For sure.
but the other ones I've never
Yeah.
tried. I didn't even try to ollie
Right.
that one. But
Dude, that's the kind of stuff that I did with my biggest stuff that I would do back in the day. I never hit any handrails. Like none of us had like the stones like to work up to that. But like my town, like in hindsight, I'm sure I could go there and find some stuff that's like, oh yeah, we probably could have hit that. But at the time, it seemed like everything was just too big,
Yeah.
and like, some of those handrails are like 3-4 feet high.
Well,
It's like,
speaking of big stuff that we're talking about, the biggest things we've ever done. Can I segue into the next video?
oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Okay. The time that I was doing my biggest stuff, like my biggest influence would have been Corey Duffel. And I would say I emulated what he was doing.
Oh yeah.
And obviously not to that
Yeah.
extent, but like that was definitely what inspired me. Even like style wise, dude, I was wearing painted on pants and I was doing my hair all weird.
Dude, nice, man. Good for you, man.
And I don't know, that was like played a big role in my my skating at that time.
So, what year is this from? Do you know?
I would say, I don't know, 05 to
Okay.
07 maybe.
Okay.
I would say in that range. 88 shoes, they went out of business around that time too.
Oh,
Like this
shit.
video came out, and then they stopped making shoes
and that's-
not
yeah,
too long
that's who
after.
put out the video.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's check it out.
But just everything amplified, just huge.
Right. Dude, and yeah, the song that he picked for this section is sick. Sonic Producer by the Dead Boys or some shit.
Yeah, Sonic Reducer.
Sonic Producer, yeah. I had to look it up. I feel like I had heard this song before, and I couldn't remember. I think it might have been like a Tony Hawk game for the Nintendo DS, but
It was on one of the undergrounds, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe like American Wasteland or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was in one of those games.
great song.
Yeah. And all of his parts, like I liked his taste in music too, because I was, into punk before I found, any of Duffel's skating,
Right.
and I was like, oh sweet, like this dude rips and he likes, the same shit I like.
One of the things with a lot of skate videos or a lot of rollerblading videos is that so many of them used tons of hip hop. It was like it was kind of a novelty to get one with like an actual like punk rock track, you know.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of like a joke within the rollerblading community. Like there's an edit that I'll show later, and they even there's a thing in it where the skater is describing music, and I won't spoil it. It's kind of funny.
Well, I think music plays a big hand, and I'm sure it did in inline too. Like
that sucks.
like style and music.
Oh, for sure. It gives it its vibe, because there's one of the edits that I picked.
Right. I mean, it's like almost like self-expression. I mean, I think it's all art.
Oh, yeah.
And it is
totally.
self-expression. And
Totally. It's
a lot of things.
That's one of the. Like, I'm glad you said that, 'cause that's one of the things I love about like rollerblading, skateboarding, BMX, like all of the above. You know, like anything that involves stuff like this is that it's like a team group effort in the community, but like when you're out there, it's like totally individual. You know, like whatever you want to do. You know, you can do it. You know, if you have the patience and the time to practice, it's awesome.
Yeah. That outfit.
Right? It's like a
Drew.
It's like right? Right? I like that. Totally looks like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Bam.
That's funny that like that sweater has become like an icon.
I had one.
Yeah,
I had one. I made sure to get clips in the sweater like that. I said, I emulated he played a big part in my influence in skating.
Did Jamie Thomas kick it off? Because that's the skater that I know to wear that type of sweater.
Stripes, that kind of just goofiness in skateboarding has always kind of been a style. Yeah.
Because one of the reasons I also say Jamie Thomas is because in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Oh yeah, he had that black and red one.
Yeah. He's wearing like a Freddy Krueger type sweater.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
But this is perfect too, because you know this guy is throwing down hammers. So I'll go into John Bellino next. And, dude, John Bellino effing rips, man. This dude is nuts.
And Duffel has broken damn near everything in his body.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he still skates. And he's still good. He does not go as big.
Yeah.
But what he does big.
Right.
And it's just like, I think that's just in him, just to do big stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awesome. It's awesome to still see. Because I'm older now than what he was in this video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's still older than I am, obviously, and still ripping. So that's awesome, Duff Man. Shout out to Duff Man.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love nose blunts and blunt slides. They look so good.
Blows my mind.
Dude, that is nuts.
Like everybody's just super stoked,
right? Dude, he landed so clean.
It looked almost effortlessly.
So clean. All right, yeah. No, I wanted to mention, talking about like you're older than Corey Duffel was then. Like one of the things
Right.
I wrote down, like when I really got back into skating a couple years ago and started watching like the sections that I grew up on, I was like, these people are kids. Like they're like 16.
Yeah.
And like when I was watching it like 12, 13, I was like, oh, they're probably in their 30s with like kids and a family. Like they just look so old, you know?
Right.
It's like, well, like I had didn't even like register with me like how young they really were.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's if you're gonna go big, you got to do it when you're young. You know, you can. get that recovery time if you're
Yeah.
lucky. All right, so this is John Bellino, and I actually so this isn't one that I grew up with, because John Bellino had his entire career, and I wasn't even aware of any of it, because honestly, like, you know, like when I got out of rollerblading, you know, YouTube wasn't around, so like there were a lot of skate videos that I missed out on.
Right.
And then once YouTube came, like my first thought was like, oh, like let me watch like skateboarding videos. But then when I got back into rollerblading, I was like, shit, like I need to catch up on what I missed out on. And this dude John Bellino, I'm not sure what year this is from. Like he left rollerblading for a good number of years, and he just is like making like a comeback now, like not a comeback, but he got back into it. But he's still relatively young. He's probably like 30. But this is a really good edit.
He's dripping, I melted his brain.
I really like. I think you'll appreciate how they like edit this. Like the way they edited this is like, oh, I've never seen that. It's like something you've seen, but like
Right, like
different at the same time.
Well, right there, it almost reminded me of like some B-movie horror or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I love when it's like they're recording the TV that they're like playing the video on. You know what I mean?
What the
Like
hell
right
is he
there.
gonna do?
Oh yeah, check it out.
This looks nuts.
Dude, yeah. John. Yeah,
Well, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't
Oh
mean.
no.
I thought that was good. That looked.
It wasn't important.
That,
Because I forget, you've never seen this stuff, so I should just shut up and let you watch it.
I have not seen that. That's fucking nuts.
You okay?
I'm just gonna show it again.
Just wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like relatively new. I would say like within the last 10 years in rollerblading, like they really started incorporating like manuals, like, you know, roll, and it's not like both skates, but like either like a heel roll or a toe roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then just doing like those slides like that.
That's cool. And there's so much similarity to all of it.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to think that there would be a beef.
Right, yeah, and that's the thing is like everyone accepts like skateboarding is the older brother. Like it always will be. And like the alternative sports crown is yours unless skateboarding fucks it up, you know. But like, you know, they definitely paved the path, you know, for all these other like self-sports.
Well, what would you... I'm gonna... I don't know why I'm mentioning it, but scooters.
Oh,
Like,
dude, so like scooter kids, the only reason like the only reason they annoy me when they do annoy me is because they don't pay attention in the park, and that just is gonna get someone injured, you know, whether it's them or us.
right.
But dude, like the more like I would say like industrial strength scooters, dude. Like every now and then, there's someone at the plaza. Who's
I've seen some nut stuff, but
right.
I think scooters became the new rollerblades to skateboarders, skateboarders to bikers.
Oh yeah.
Like the chain.
Absolutely.
But
I love this.
Maybe that's what it was.
They all just come ripping in.
That's nuts.
You ever seen The Lost Boys, that vampire movie? No,
I am not a movie buff.
Oh man, dude, I love horror movies like that. But like that scene, if you've ever seen The Lost Boys, Kiefer Sutherland's gang, like that's what it reminds me of. Them all just like swooping in. We're gonna go into another edit here shortly. I just wanted to kind of comment on the big stuff that I would do when I was, because in reality, like I only skated like heavily for maybe 3 years, maybe 3.5 at the most. Because when I got into skating, it was like 7th grade, and I feel like I was done by 10th grade. Because in those 4 years, 3-4 years, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, and when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, like rollerblading had already been like bullied, and like kids also like my age, like we got our driver's license, and then of course you just want to go out and party and shit. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, and like so many people just immediately went and bought skateboards because of that game. And so a lot of my friends had stopped skating either just because they didn't want to anymore, or they got into skateboarding, and I just stopped because everyone else did. But the big stuff I would do back then, like I think I jumped a 16 stair set one time,
Yeah.
and like I feel like that's big by any standard,
I've only done 11.
Yeah. Well,
what I mean?
yeah. Well,
Size wise, it's the same difference.
Totally.
Landing a 16, like we had a 16 here in town.
Nice.
And a few people have tried it on a skateboard. Dude, no one's put it down.
Oh, that's scary.
That's a big set of stairs.
Right. But yeah, like gaps. We were talking earlier. I don't think it was recorded, but I never worked up the stones to hit any handrails or anything like that when I was younger. We always just stuck to like little curbs and just jumping off shit. But yeah, like gaps and stair sets. Like I just was like fearless, just like just hauling ass and just like throwing yourself. It's like,
yeah.
You couldn't pay me enough money now to do that. It's just,
yeah.
No way.
Yeah, we actually had a 15 stair in our high school, like in our entryway, and I used to like my last class, I would bring my backpack to class.
Yeah.
And I like throw my backpack on. I parked my car like right out the canopy. I would run. I would jump down that 15 like every day, land on my feet, and just keep going.
Dude, fuck yeah, that's nuts, man.
But that's like, and then I would go skate. But like that was like my like, let's go.
Oh yeah.
Like,
the ritual.
Yeah.
Going from school to skating. So, what do you want to watch now?
I want to watch Ed Templeton jump off a building.
Oh, nice, dude. This one's really short.
It is really short.
Kind of a bummer. Before we get into it,
if his early parts are pretty short. Like even Welcome to Hell's pretty short.
It is, yeah. But
this is even shorter.
Months ago,
but
yeah.
It's sick.
Dude, it's sick, and he picks. So not only is it
Ed's an artist.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well,
Ed's brain is fucking on art.
He started Toy Machine, didn't he? Isn't that his thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But he has a Sonic Youth song in this, and not only is it a Sonic Youth song, but it's
he has like 5 parts of Sonic Youth actually.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because there's a America Yellow. He skates to a Sonic Youth song.
Oh, nice.
He skates to a Sonic Youth in Welcome to Hell. He skates a Sonic Youth song to this. He skates a Sonic Youth song in Suffer the Joy. And
I need to catch up on my Ed Templeton.
It's, dude, all those songs are like, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's all Sonic Youth. He uses a weird one in America This Is Skateboarding, but it's still like it still kind of sounds like Sonic Youth.
Oh yeah. This This one though, I love it even more because it's a Lee Ronaldo Sonic Youth song, and
Yeah.
he only ever got like 1 or 2 songs per album, but
Speaking of Ed Templeton and Sonic Youth, and we mentioned video games earlier,
yeah.
Grind Session,
Oh yeah,
Sonic Youth, in the mind of the, what is that word?
I didn't know they
Voriguous Reader?
Sonic Youth had a song on that game.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
Ed
see- I
Templeton
didn't-
is
I didn't
in
know.
that game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As a character.
I remember that's where I first learned of
Like
Ed
Pigpen and Willie Santos.
Yeah, I forgot about Pigpen.
Mary Beth Burnside's in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the mind of the Voriguous Reader.
I wonder what album that's off. 'Cause I consider myself a big Sonic.
I have the album. It's like that song where it's like, I don't care about dirty hair.
It might be
Yeah. I want to say it has like, it's like a really light cover.
it might have Bull in the Heather on it.
It does.
I can't remember what the name of that album.
I have it. I bought it at a pawn shop in Muskegon. But I have that album.
American Jet Star Trash or something weird like that. Dude, this
might-
is sick right here. I love like,
There's
name.
a setup here in town. I'm not gonna say where. It's obvious where, but there's a setup that's exactly like that. Yeah, and I want to
nice.
do it.
Dude,
Dude, it's in plain sight. Everybody drives past it every day.
I know where it's at. It's right
It's
down
at the coffee
on.
shop. It used to be Forsberg's Flowers.
Well, dude,
It's the same bump. It's the same distance, and it's a two-stair.
oh, I
Dude,
can
it's
see that.
it's
I
like
can
almost the
see
same thing.
that. All right, so we were talking about like music and how it like sets the vibe for edits, and this one right here, Dustin Latimer from the video Brain Fear Gone. It's just really good, and the music that he uses, you know, maybe you've heard it in a skate video before, or maybe you've seen something similar, but it's a pretty unique section, and it totally captures Dustin Latimer. Like Dustin Latimer right here. Sorry,
This is his
to
best
give you-
part.
It's hard to say that it's his best part, but Dustin, like, for rollerblading, there's a lot of like goats, you know, greatest of all time, but like Dustin Latimer probably is the goat, like, just because like the style and various things that he brought to rollerblading. So we'll watch this. Yeah, this whole tape, Brain Fear Gone, is really good.
Almost look like some workshop logo almost.
Right? And one of the coolest things about this era of rollerblading is that you can go back just a few years before this and watch Dustin Latimer. It's probably like a 12-year-old kid, and you can just literally watch his whole progression, like as a person, like,
Right.
and just like his skating, just like it was crazy how he was just like doing completely brand new, unique things you'd never seen before. Like every time he released an edit.
I think that really is what makes both skating unique, is like,
Right. Yeah, it's just like you get to watch someone's progression. Like they're like risking their body and livelihood and everything, like for our entertainment. And it's like they, you know, of course they get enjoyment out of it, but like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
You know, and like none of the greats, no two are the same.
Oh, right.
They,
Right.
They're great in their own ways.
And that's the thing. Like, it's hard to like say someone is like the greatest and actually mean it, because like I always say that about Dustin Latimer, but there's another section we'll watch later from Brian Shima, and like Brian Shima is maybe probably the greatest of all time, because like this dude, all he did was fucking hammers, man.
Well,
This dude,
and
like,
speaking of Brian and the greatest, Brian Anderson, to
Yeah.
me, Brian Anderson is the greatest skateboarder of all time, and
is he still doing it?
absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I told you, like the Brian Anderson one you picked. I'd never seen it before. I've never even heard of the guy, and yeah, I was like, holy shit, like, this is one of the best skate sections I've ever seen.
Might be the best skate section.
See, this right here is sick. Dude, I think you'll get a kick out
Yeah,
of
they're in the right mind, you know.
I'm gonna show a Josh Petty one later. I think you'll get a kick out of that. It's got a good vibe in it.
Beauty.
Right? Dude, I love, like, dude, look how fast he's skating. Like when he comes off this ledge.
Like a snowboard trick.
Dude, I love that, right? Right?
Damn.
And this is probably the cleanest 540 like in the history of like rollerblading videos. It's so nice coming up.
Wow.
Just like,
Was there ever any mags? That had to have been a cover shot.
oh, I think, I mean, it probably was. Like that is
That
like,
had to have been a
that
cover.
is like iconic.
If
as
that was a
fuck.
skateboarding, that would have been
Oh,
on a
yeah.
Thrasher cover for sure.
Right? Oh yeah.
Like Thrasher should have put that shit on their front cover.
Right? Dude, yeah, that's like, that is huge.
I want to see someone do the Ski Hall of Fame
The Ski Hall of Fame.
in Ishpeming.
Oh yeah, dude.
Same roof. It's just a
Right?
big ass quarter
Right.
pipe, but it goes into grass. There's nothing to.
I was out there like 2 winters ago for the jump, but it was too windy, so they called it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a bummer. Yeah, so Dustin Latimer, you know, definitely one of the greatest of all time for blading.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And like Alex was saying, Brian Anderson, and this one coming up is from the, well, you explain it, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably middle school when I first saw this. Brian Anderson skated in the same video that Ed Templeton was in that we just watched too. He had a part in that video.
Oh wow.
But growing up, I watched Brian Anderson skate, and this was like I saw the progression. You were talking about the progression in
Oh nice.
someone you were talking.
Oh, Dustin Latimer.
Yeah, Dustin
Yeah.
Latimer. You're talking about seeing the progression of him growing up.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Brian Anderson.
Oh, right
like
on.
seeing him come in as a pro in Welcome to Hell, and then his part in Jump Off a Building, and then
Yeah, right.
this would have been like I would say like his next major part. He had stuff.
I can't believe I've never
Like-
heard of this guy. I kind of feel like I'm generally up to speed on like classic era, you know,
Yeah.
like classic 90s, 2000s era skateboarding. But yeah, I've never even
He
heard
was
of Brian
kind of there
Anderson.
with like all the big names. Like he skated for Lakai with like Rick Howard, and
Yeah,
um, he's on Girl with Costin. And
yeah,
big,
Costin, yeah, or
super
big
big
guys, yeah.
names. But I would say by far Brian Anderson was my favorite. Like not just in that whole group of people, but of all time. This part rules, and so does Brian.
Yeah, this is sick. This is one of the sickest skateboarding edits I've ever seen. Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger sweater again.
Right. Dude, so when I watched this the other day, I went back and watched that.
Green screen?
Well, no, I went and watched that parking meter thing a couple times because I was like, how the fuck did he do that? He like ollies and then whoop, like goes up.
Yeah.
And I was like, did he like pop off the parking meter? Or no, he doesn't. He just goes over.
I do that the bars at some gas stations have good ones.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
Jammin' Rainbow style, but I mean, yeah, he ollied it.
Yeah.
He swooped right over it. It's pretty intense.
Very nice.
I love this spot. It's such a cool. It's in so many videos. Back tail. Some transition stuff. Back as well.
That spot is in Skate 3. I didn't realize that was like a real spot.
You have like Pier 7, Pier 5, something like that.
Probably in San Diego.
Yeah, it's one of the pier. It's got a name. It's like Pier 9, 7, something. It's got a number. That's in a lot of videos.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. Like Philly or New York would be my guess. There's tricks where he's like select. Like,
Oh yeah.
talking about with artistry, I think he was an artist with what he did
Super.
and where he did it.
Oh yeah. Super.
Barrel flip, obscurity, down a triple set, fuck it. Excuse my language.
That's so sick. Yeah, man. That stuff is gnarly.
Yeah.
Just whipping yourself at a stair
He's a
set,
big dude, too.
flinging your feet out, but somehow you manage to know how to, make the board flip in the way it's supposed to flip.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, let's I'll jump into Josh Petty. And this is, so I was listening to the Jump Street podcast the other day. I was catching up on some episodes, and Jump Street is like two like former pro skaters, and they just, because there's not much of a footprint on the internet for like rollerblading, like current media. And so they started this podcast where they just interview like fellow like rollerbladers, and a lot of people they've interviewed have retired years ago. So like Josh Petty is like, like 44 now or something. He doesn't skate, but they interviewed him back in December, and he was talking about this section. He was only supposed to have like 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds in this video. He had just like healed up from a second knee injury and was like pretty much on his way out of the game.
Yeah.
And they ended up giving him like probably the most unique section of like rollerblading movies, because like you'll see how it plays out, but it's sick, man. He kills it. Oops.
Man, have you guys noticed how everybody's jumping on this rock bandwagon all of a sudden? I remember back in Espionage when me and Champion were skating with Black Sabbath before it was even cool. Now all of a sudden everybody's growing their hair long.
Skating Black Sabbath.
Man, I still like hip hop. I'm still gonna listen to hip hop, and I don't give a fuck who thinks it's cool. My next section for sure is gonna be hip hop. Who's gonna want to get your ass a section? Fuck you, man.
Bad acting, but entertaining all the same.
Yeah. I recently watched Shorty's Guilty, and they put so much production value into that video, and it's hard. It's a hard watch, but it's a fun watch.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so this was Josh Petty's last section, and he fucking throws down, man.
This is the last one.
Yeah, the last section that
He doesn't skate anymore.
No, he's older. His knees are shot. His back is all fucked up.
What happened? Especially when you're doing this kind of stuff,
Right? Yeah. And dude, I've did that so many times as a kid. That shit sucks.
I'm actually surprised I've never heard the song before.
Yeah, I
So
never
sick
heard
of
it
all these
either.
little gangster wannabe white boys. I swear, if I have to see one more section with some kid from the Midwest sagging his pants, wearing a bandana around his head, I swear I'm just gonna fucking shoot myself. Now hip-hop's the most played trend in rollerblading, kid. I swear, man, for my next section, I'm definitely not skating to hip-hop.
So are those all skaters?
Oh yeah, that's Aaron Feinberg, who's also like one of the greatest of all time. That was Kevin Gillen, who we watched earlier. He's the one that was rolling the joint. Right. Yeah, that's called a fast slide, I'm pretty sure, and like this is like the era when they really started like exploring that, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit like that when blading first started. I love that 5 right there. He just comes fucking barreling in. He's not even that high off the stair set.
What a combination.
Right?
I think we're
Is
skating.
that Ed Templeton rail? It looks
It's
just like it, you know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
same setup, yeah. If it's in California, it very well could be.
Right? Dude, right?
That's the other thing. You're from Michigan originally, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Finally got it, that last one. Yeah, I'm from the Flint
So
area.
everybody had to come out with
Yeah.
a drum and bass section.
Depending on where you're from in Flint, but it's like where I'm from in Harvey, everything is flat.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
My next section, man, I'm just gonna
There
be
was
fucking
nothing
cool.
to
I'm
really
skating fast
skateboard
as
my
shit,
driveway.
do some big
Right.
tricks.
Kicker.
I'm gonna definitely use
Yeah, we just had a
wanna get
had a couple curbs and just a practice rail that we made. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, we had flat bars, kickers.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes build a fun box, maybe get
Oh,
some scrap
dude,
wood
yeah,
or whatever.
Dude. Like there was like one person in town who had a fun box. Yeah, my buddy Brent had a fun box. I forgot about that. That was like epic. His parents made it for him.
Yeah.
So he went. He went.
Who uses? There's a skate video with this song in it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't even know who this is. It's a cool song though.
Jason Dill. No. This is a different song. Shit. I know the song though.
Like I want it, like kind of sounds like Jim Morrison in a way, but I know it's not the Doors.
No, this is oh man, this one bugged me.
Yeah, he went from maybe having 30 seconds in the video to having like a 6-minute long edit with 3 different songs, you know, and just arguably the best section in the whole tape.
Section of choosing between a rap or a rock song. I hope if you're actually skating. Aaron, I've been making sections since you were skating around in a fucking helmet, alright? I just don't see how you're gonna make a section. I mean, do you even own a pair of skates? A pair of skates? What the fuck? What, Aaron? Now I don't have any skates.
Throws his skates in the pool like a fucking boss. So yeah, this one, Chad Muska, Fulfill the Dream. Well, I feel like this is a pretty iconic section, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the,
This part and Guilty, like this whole era was Muska era for sure.
I remember I have a funny Chad Muska story, and like it just, I mean, I feel like an idiot for saying it, but I as a kid I didn't know any better, but like the skateboarder in my class, he had a Muska patch on it. I didn't know who Chad Muska was, and I thought like, oh, like music ska, like he must be a ska fan.
Yeah.
You know, and well, cause like he also had like Less Than Jake patches and like Operation Ivy and shit like that. But I just always thought it was ska,
like
and
a ska oriented stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, and I was like, oh, Chad Muska. So yeah, this is a sick edit though. Sucks. Freaking bike.
And actually, I haven't watched this part in a really long time.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because you would ask me what videos I wanted to watch, and I was like, well, I had to really think about it.
Oh yeah, dude, so did I. Like this past week, I was really like, what do I want to like present?
Like, Muska never was too technical. He had stock tricks, but he did them right.
Yeah.
And he did them sick.
Right.
Like,
Style. Just oozes style, man.
a lot of 50-50s, a lot of tail slides, a lot of frontside flips. That's what he's known for. But there's a reason why he's known for it, you know? It's the way he does them.
Well, that's like Kevin Gillen in a way. The first one I showed, you were always going to get backside royales from him, alley-oop, Mizus, you know, he would do cool stuff like that, but he was never the most technical guy. He didn't do the biggest stuff. It just looked awesome, you know. This
and
is
I think
fucking
with
sick, though.
the art of it, if you do things right, it's gonna look cool no matter what. Even if you're skating the curb, you can make anything. If you're doing it the way your mind projects it, it's going to look good. Dude,
there's this Canadian rollerblading crew, and they're called Mushroom Blading. Like that's their like Instagram and YouTube. But like the stuff they do is like big in its own right, but it's not big. But they do it with so much style that it looks amazing.
A lot of hip hop influence that I've noticed in the late '90s and early 2000s skating. Well, just similarities to it. Like, you know, they're the same age, they're doing the same things, almost the same culture in the same areas. You know.
Totally. That rail that he just hit is in like every skate video, where it's like super pointed, you know, but it's like you can tell it's so low to the ground. That was probably such a fun rail to hit.
The roof gaps. Big 50. Frontside nose
Dude,
blunt.
yeah, dude, nose blunts look so cool. Yeah, Muska. That was that because that was his logo. That
The
was
silhouette?
that was the exact thing. Like, oh, it must be something with ska music. So this would have been probably like 98, huh? 98, 99?
98, 99,
Yeah.
yeah. Because he was supposed to have a toy machine part.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Well, that was Welcome to Hell. That would probably been, that would have definitely been before this. But
Wasn't there kind of like a falling out almost or something? I feel like his footage, because I was just reading about that a couple months ago.
the footage was used, but
I thought there was like a little bit of bad blood. I mean, I could just be speaking out of my ass, but I thought I read something about like Muska was pretty pissed off about the situation.
yeah, I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I know.
Again, I could be completely wrong. I have no idea.
I've heard Ed talk about it, and I don't know if I've heard Chad talk
Yeah.
about it a whole lot.
Dude, that
Maybe like
the boom.
I think it's water under the bridge.
Oh,
but,
yeah, of course. It's, this is like.
yeah, but I don't know
years ago.
exactly what happened.
Dude, that boombox grind, so iconic.
Frontside flip, there it is. The Muska flip.
Dude,
He does, like, with skateboarding, like, there's like people refer to a certain style of frontside flip
Yeah. Oh, I can
as
see-
a Muska flip,
Muska flip, I can
because
see
it's
that.
like an illusion hard flip, frontside flip. It's crazy the way he does it, but it's deserved its own name, the Muska flip.
Dude, tail slides look so cool, or nose slides. Like I just love that. I love watching skateboarders like just rotate, but the board's still there. It's crazy. you
Yeah,
know?
I don't even know
It's
who I
like-
was watching the other day, but it was like filmed at a strange angle, I think, but it was a back three down like a stair. It was a line, it was a double set.
Yeah.
He did a trick down the first set and then back three the last set.
Nice.
But just he didn't even move his like feet. It just all
Yeah.
somehow stayed on an axis, and he just
Right.
spun it perfectly 360, and I was like, wow. Insane. And being a skateboarder, I don't know how exactly they're doing it.
Right? Dude, some people take to it. So like there were like two kids in my high school, and they started skateboarding, and like, dude, honestly, like within a couple months they were like 360 flip, like on a consistent basis. They were doing like setting up picnic tables and doing like nose blunts on them, and
Yeah.
I was just like, how were you able to figure that out that quickly? Yeah, some people just take to it.
Oh shit.
Bless you. So Brian Chima, the 666 series, and just like a heads up to help give this video the weight it deserves. This was Brian Chima's last edit ever, because at the very end of this, the last clip that it shows, like he missed the gap, and the way he landed shattered both of his heels. Couldn't walk for however long, had to like relearn how to like walk, and like he obviously can't ever skate again.
Right.
Probably have to get both his feet amputated if he did that. But man, this from my understanding, because I wasn't paying attention to blading at this period, but from my understanding, this is when like blading was at like its lowest. And so like this dude is what you're gonna see. He's like already like, he shouldn't have been doing stuff this big at the age he was at, but that was just how good he was, and he was getting like paid nothing for it. So it's crazy.
Right.
And this guy, this is another blader that you can just go back and watch his progression. And, I mean, it was crazy the stuff that this guy did.
Right. If you're doing stuff like this, it had to come from somewhere, right?
All right.
You don't just jump into that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Good point.
Cool spot.
Right. Yeah. This edit has a lot of spots that I've never seen in other videos before.
I've never seen anything like it.
They were like really exploring.
It's almost like I used to watch some like mountain biking videos. They utilized a lot of spots that that wouldn't be utilized otherwise. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
That would have been, those spots would have been pretty tough for a skateboarder.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's another thing too. Like, even though like skateboarding and rollerblading are like similar in a lot of ways, it's like the way they approach lines are like so completely different, you know?
Right. Well, and you have limitations with the skateboard that you don't have with rollerblades, and vice versa.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Dude, this this
Another power slide. I like that shit.
look at that shit.
What do you think? What do you think that is? Like 40?
Dude, that shit is huge, man. Brian Shima always went big, and like,
You said he got injured making this part.
yeah, it's literally the last clip, and it doesn't even look like, it's not like gruesome or anything, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking shitty though, you know.
Well, it's crazy. Like, I would put this almost on like a Danny Way tier, you know?
Right.
And I mean, that guy's broken his body a million times too.
Yeah, Danny Way's nuts. And like, if anyone watches this who like
Right on the flatbed.
yeah, like, well, I won't talk over this.
Wow.
So like, just jumping down from something, like the impact, it's so hard to like keep yourself grounded and to ride out of it. So like, if you're not familiar with skating and you somehow watch this video, like that's why that's so impressive.
And being someone that's comfortable on skates, I can't even imagine that. But I've rollerbladed. I used to work at the skate park, the old skate park in Marquette.
Yeah.
And you know, I like I said, I played inline hockey, so I had skates in my car all the time. Oh my god, man!
Yeah, you just boom, you know,
buckled,
just hit it in like the absolute worst spot. So, yeah, man, mad respect to anyone who skates, but Brian Shima especially. That dude sacrificed his feet for our enjoyment. Like, man.
Yeah, that was a hit.
Right.
Brian Shima.
So I think we watched all yours. I thought I had 5.
Do we watch Pat Lennon?
We didn't watch Pat Lennon, and that's actually good because I wanted to end it like on this one, just because it's like the Brian Shima one is kind of heavy, knowing that he injured himself and doesn't skate anymore. But this Pat Lennon stopped skating because he just, you know, there was no money in it. You know, you get old, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like this dude, I love the way he like edited his movies and like just his style of skating. Like I listened to an interview with him from years ago, and he didn't want to like record anything that wasn't just like big as shit, you know. So
yeah.
Like he wasn't the most technical guy, but he was like a stunt skater in a purest sense. He's got a great choice of music in this song. In this edit.
Wow. These are different spots.
Right? Yeah, he was he's based out of San Francisco, so I feel like that's where lots of this is.
Yeah, I was
from.
just gonna ask if he was from the States or.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, just a lot of stuff that you've seen before, but he always adds something extra to it. He always adds something to where you could like clip your feet
Yeah.
and just completely fuck yourself up.
Right. Like a lot of those like spiraling stairs that like a lot of people, you know, it'd be a perfect spot otherwise, but it has that
Right?
space there.
Just jumps over it.
Yeah. Like that.
Right? Yeah, I love that. Beautiful. I don't know if like
It's like a cork or something, wouldn't it?
in rollerblading that's called the Bio 540.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, that's an elevator shaft.
Yeah.
Like just like
Well, there's places up here that are like old mine shafts that look like that.
dude, right?
Oh.
Oh man, dude, that would hurt. Catching yourself like that.
It's a cool way to use a spot.
Right? Dude. Sorry, watch this. Like, what? Like,
Go home, man.
yeah. That can go so horribly wrong. Like, all of these things can, but... Dude, fakey backflipping in, like, 12 set? Like, what the hell?
That's not even something I've ever thought about.
Right? I love that. It's just so clean.
Mm-hmm. Very fluid. He does get it, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Pat Lennon, his old crew was, I think, called the Bomb Squad or something out of San Francisco. So, yeah, we're watching Alex's buddy.
Well, I met this through a friend of mine, actually, Johnny Homegrown, and Elmir is well, a self-proclaimed weirdest skateboarder ever, and I don't know if he's wrong.
Yeah, right.
He's an artist, man, and he's a very cool dude. And I'm not sure if he skates so much anymore, but he was definitely a wild man. And we were saying earlier, no two people are the same.
Right?
I don't think anyone will ever be the same as Elmir.
Just bombing hills. Oh, nice.
And I believe he holds the land speed world record on a skateboard. Don't quote me on that, but at one point I believe he did.
That would be so exhausting doing that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's goofy, but he puts so much technicality into it,
Oh,
where it's
dude,
like,
totally.
you can't even knock it for being goofy because it's not
Oh,
anymore.
nice. So was that him too?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Yeah, so he can do both then. Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, he's all over the map with skateboarding. He does,
Oh, wow.
almost like Rodney Mullen, but then
Right.
other times it's like your typical street skating at that era,
Right.
but he's got his own,
Jeez.
firecracker and stairs and a
Right.
bunny stance. What is
Oh,
that?
wow. Yeah, that takes some balance. Balance and some muscle memory.
Yeah, they're almost circus tricks.
Right?
And people have said that, call them circus tricks and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't know, he's definitely innovative in his own right there.
Look at that foot stance.
And as a skateboarder, I've thought about doing, like, you always are, like, looking at your feet when you're skateboarding, and I've, like, thought, like, well, what if I flip my board like this? And he's actually doing it,
Right.
It's like, what?
Oh, man. How old is this?
I would say this is probably at least 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Or more. Right?
I love that. Just side angle.
And it's so easy to watch because you've never seen anyone do
Oh,
that
no.
in that manner or fashion.
Right? Oh, dude, that looks like a fun spot to skate. Oh, man, that's
Right?
perfect.
Well, I've talked to Elmir a few times, and I've told him, I was like, if I ever, my brother lives in Austria, and Elmir lives in Slovenia, so I mean they're bordering each other, and I was like, dude, if I ever get over there, I was like, you have to show
Oh,
me
yeah.
some of these spots because
Oh, yeah.
they're awesome. Like that I could skate that, even just as a bank.
Right? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to push myself as best I can. Once the snow melts, we can get back to the plaza. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but this right here is where we're able to skate in town. I mean, there's other spots, of course, but that's just where you can legally skate.
Right.
Dumb as that is. There's so many ledges that, like, when I drive around, I'm just like, oh, I would love to just, like, pour a gallon of wax on that and just, like, skate it. Like, it just looks so prime.
Well,
Shit.
sometimes you gotta,
Right? It's just the thought of having, like...
That is insane.
Oh, right. It's just like, I would just be embarrassed, like, at my age, for someone to come out and be like, what are you doing? It's just like, when I was younger, don't give a shit. I don't want to deal with that now that I'm a fucking grown man, unfortunately. All right, so yeah, I think that's good. It's getting long, so yeah. If you watch this, thanks. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I had mentioned it earlier to Alex, but I was looking on YouTube to see if there was anything like this. And I didn't find anything, so I think this is kind of cool to have, like, so many skateboards, so many rollerblades, and just, like, sit down and discuss it and enjoy each other's passions. And it's like, it's a passion that covers everything. We just happen to do different things, but it's all awesome at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, artists using different mediums.
right?
For sure.
Yeah, like, it's just any like, I need to go out and watch more, like, BMX videos. mountain biking videos. Those Red Bull mountain biking videos are insane.
I used to watch the New World Order ones.
I've seen some of those.
And those blew my mind.
Hmm. But yeah, if you watch this, thanks again, and we'll cook up something similar in the future.